Lancel here for Let's Discuss with Lancel. Happy to welcome Filippa, guitarist and founder of Thundermother. How are you doing this evening? I believe it is where you are at in this part of the world.
I'm very good, thank you, and happy, and yeah, having a good time.
That's right.
Glad to be here.
You guys have a deluxe edition coming out May 21st on AFM Records of the Heatwave album. Anybody who gets it's going to get the Heatwave release that came out last year, plus a bonus CD, 10 tracks. You've got unreleased tracks, acoustic tracks, live tracks. Pretty cool package. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud and of the heat wave first of all, and then we were like, yeah, let's do another because we don't want it to disappear, because we didn't do any shows for heat wave, so
Right.
we were like, oh, let's release it again, and we put on some extra, because we're creative people. We just did three more songs recorded during the pandemic and recorded them in January, and we had it on the album, and we did some songs acoustically.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot of fun. I played some banjo even.
All right, I'm going to ask you about that when we get to those. Let's save that one. Let's start with the cover shot. I love the cover shot. Who's the girl on the cover?
She is a German girl from Hamburg that was our makeup artist in our video shoots.
Okay.
And we found out she is a kind of a feminist nude model,
Hmm.
but in a very feministic way. She has an Instagram where she's never wear bra or tops, but she's
Right.
like natural environments.
Hmm.
Just this crazy girl, and like we like adore her.
Yeah.
So we asked her if she want to be part of our team and be on the covers, and she loved that.
Very neat. I was looking at some of the pictures on the wall. Of course, there's a lot of Thunder Mother stuff on there, but there's some other shot pictures on the wall behind her in that cover shot that I found kind of interesting. You've got like the Prince Purple Rain cover, um
Yep.
some Ghost, some Aerosmith, a lot of Kiss, some Beatles, Van Halen, Iron Maiden. And then one part that sort of intrigued me, you can just see it at the top of the picture. You can see the bottom of the bill, and it's from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, which of course no longer exists, which I found very cool.
Hmm. The
What
Omni.
it was a an indoor stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Um,
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
from long ago. It got taken down a number of years ago, so that goes back a ways. Was there any sort of rhyme or reason to the placement of the stuff, the non Thunder Mother stuff in the picture?
No, but I mean, it's all kinds of stuff we like and what we listen to, and we're really old school and know our history quite well, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
So we just like a real cool room with old school posters, and I'm impressed you find all of these details and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Kiss stuff because it was, from the first album. And even the Maiden stuff was off of Live After Death, which is like one of the great live albums, of all time. And of course, the Beatles stuff from Abbey Road and all that was pretty cool. So yeah. Um,
Love the kind of details, and makes life more fun.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we also did in our booklet, we did like, because the physical product is fun and interesting, so we
Mm.
actually design one page each, whatever we wanted, in the band.
Okay, okay,
So
because
my son, our bass player, she did like a painting. She painted with oil, and we had a photo of that, and we could do anything. We said we can do a fucking recipe of my favorite dish or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
So it's just a fun way to be creative and have fun with what you're doing.
absolutely. That's very cool. Of course, I didn't get to see the booklet because I just had the download, but yeah, I'm gonna have to buy it now just to see that. Very cool. Um,
Oh yeah, okay, I understand. Oh, I love the old school physical stuff. I have like too many vinyls at home.
Absolutely. Let's get into a few of the tracks on the bonus CD. The first track, "The Road Is Ours." Great song. I love the video. Looked like you girls are having a lot of fun. And here's another small detail that I picked up on that I love. Being an old school music guy that I am, I love it when Guernica says guitar just as you go into the
Me too.
solo. You know, I thought
Because
if in the video, if you would have gone into that solo and put the guitar behind your head like some guys used to play, I would have
yeah,
lost my mind. You know?
yeah. I laughed when she did that in the studio, and I went to film her. Can you do that again? And then I posted that on my Instagram and said this was the best take for today that she did.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing it reminded me of was Leonard Skinner on their song "On the Hunt." Right towards the
Okay,
end, Ronnie Van Sant says, "I'm Mr. Guitar," and then they go into that solo out. And I had to, once I listened to this song, I
that's
had to
where I
go back
heard
and
it
listen
from.
to
That's
that
where
one.
I heard it from. That's where I heard it from. True.
Really?
And yeah, that's where I heard it. Why I got excited, because we're also a live act. We're not like a studio act normally, but now we eventually grown into that, and with this record,
Yeah,
and it's our best record so far, and made
right.
us quite bigger. But just that we can keep this kind of live stuff on the recordings in the studio, I think it's crazy fun because that's who we are.
Yeah. The second track, "Show Me What You Got." My note here says "Holy Motorhead." Um, you know, definite
Yeah,
tip of the cap to those guys. I thought on that tune, a great song.
definitely. Yeah, I agree.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't know what to say actually.
Okay. And then "You Can't Handle Me," great tune, but I love the video for this. You've got the ballerina versus the fighter. Did you know these two ladies at all? I think the fighter, her name was Michaela, and the dancer's name was Heidi. I think, if I've got it correct. Did you know them at all?
Yeah, I know them. I was there. I did the lights for the whole video.
Okay, that was the other thing I was going to bring up. You guys all make sort of subtle appearances in the video. I guess what I
Mm.
was asking was, did you know them prior to the video shoot?
Oh no, we didn't.
Okay.
Um, I met the director Nina like 2 weeks prior to the video shoot on a party,
Mm,
and I just said I would like some kind of feminine versus fight ballerina, whatever kind of video that shows strength in all kind of female shapes and forms.
mhm.
That would be cool. And she was a director, so she said, I can fix it easily. Should we meet on Wednesday and start? Okay, so I came there, and she just brought these two girls, which were amazing. And Heidi, which is the ballerina, she's actually one of the best ones in Sweden. So
Yeah.
works with she performed in the Royal Ballet. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I looked on Michaela's page as well, the fighter. I found her on Facebook, and I was the contrast. She has this very athletic fighter look in that video, but on some of her pictures on her page, she's like a model, a very beautiful, beautiful girl that I found.
Yeah, absolutely. But most of all, she's like, she still has this femininity, like she wear high heels and stuff, and it's beautiful. And
Right.
then she's also one of the best in Sweden in MMA fights. She
Right.
fights without gloves, and she's
Wow.
one of the top 10 in Sweden.
Cool.
So I like that contrast, and that's exactly what I wanted in that video. And that was all because of Nina Sacco, the director. She instantly reached out to the kind of people, like them, and they were excited to do something else. So we become great friends after that. So we had a good little party the other day and watched the video, and
That's cool.
yeah, me and the girls in the video. Yeah.
And then you got the three acoustic tracks with "Driving in Style," "Dog from Hell," and "Sleep." How did you get Jesper from DAD on "Sleep"? How did that come together?
Because we supported DAD 5 years ago in
Okay.
Europe, and we became close friends. I watched every show every night with DAD. It was the best show I've seen in my life. They're a great live act,
Yeah.
for sure. And then we became close. So when we're in the studio recording Heatwave with Jesper, Benzer came down and said, "Come on, can Filippa, can I join on the album?" And,
Yeah.
and I discussed with the girls, and we're like, "No, this is our stand because this is the best album we did. We don't want to, guests, many guests on it.
Yeah.
So we did our thing, and then when we went back to the studio to do a double vinyl, the deluxe edition,
Yeah.
we was like, now he can come. So I called Jesper, you can come down now. One day later, he was there.
Didn't take a whole lot of convincing.
No, he was excited,
Cool.
and then
And
it was great. We had great fun in the studio. What a
yeah.
character!
Those,
He has
I'm
such
listening to that, and I'm just imagining sitting around a campfire, with everybody, just playing acoustics, very cool.
yeah.
So
Well, we love playing acoustics. It's like it's as good as when we play electric.
yeah,
Because we sing all together, and
yeah.
we all play. So,
Now I get to ask you the banjo question. How did that show up on Dog from Hell? Was that just something you thought of would fit, or?
but I want to have fun, and I love all kinds of weird instruments. I play many weird instruments, and I have a lot in my home.
Hmm.
So I was looking around in the studio. It was fun to try out what can we do. A banjo. I never played that before. So I just took it down and learned it really quickly and did it. And
Yeah,
also mandolin.
you pulled it off well,
I did. It was a guitar banjo, so it was tuned like a guitar. Otherwise, I
Okay,
would have a lot of problem.
right.
So I can just do my own solo, but on the banjo, and I just changed the minor stuff
Hmm.
to major stuff, so it sounded more country. And then everyone was laughing so much.
You talk about how you've learned and played a whole bunch of instruments. I found that in researching for you as well. You were playing, I hope I've got this right, like an auto harp at age 13 for like weddings and stuff.
Yeah, that's absolutely like a key harp.
Okay.
Uh, it's a Swedish folk instrument. You did
Yeah,
your research. I'm very
I
impressed.
did. And then I read you also went to Africa to learn some instruments.
I did. How did you know that?
It's all there on the internet, Filippa. You just got to dig.
I can't believe it what I'm hearing.
Yeah. What was
Yeah.
that experience like?
Well, I was in Africa playing this weird instrument for 5 weeks when I was tired of life in general.
Yeah.
I called the kora, uh, and it was like a big nut, if you say a really
Mm.
big nut,
Huh.
chopped in two with a cow skin on, so it's like a drum. And then
Yeah.
they put a big stick in it and put fish lines that they fish with, and it becomes like a harp and a drum in one instrument.
Huh.
So I played that for 5 weeks, and I actually had to bribe people in the airports in Africa to get it back to Sweden.
Yeah.
It's very big. It's a big instrument. It's taller than me.
Wow.
It's huge.
I mean, that's kind of cool though, too, because you think of like, when Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, went into Morocco and learned, studied all that music, and that's how we got Kashmir, and Sepultura brought some authentic Brazilian, music from the inner country tribes, like on Roots. It's got to be a cool experience.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the Beatles, and
Yeah.
uh,
You're right. The
we
Beatles.
never. I always wanted to incorporate like my skills for other weird instruments that I
Yeah.
collect, but it's hard because then we don't have a guitar player in the band. But
Yeah.
now when
Right.
we have this deluxe, there's this bonus CD, I was like, now let's do whatever I want, have
Yeah.
fun. So I finally I can do some other things. So unfortunately, it was just a banjo available, but
Yeah.
I was very happy.
Yeah. That's very cool. Now, in addition to learning all the instruments, you started writing at 13. You went to music school, studied music production and everything. So you're like a very well-rounded, you know, completely, I don't know what the word I even want to look for, completely educated on everything, a true do-it-yourself act sort of thing is, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm a complete do-it-yourself kind of person. I'm like a doer. I don't sit
Yeah.
around and wait for
Yeah.
people to do things for me. I had an experience when I was 16 years old that I will never forget. When I was sitting on the street and playing guitar and singing, and I got this guy wanted to sign me, and then he paid for a studio for me to do some songs that I wrote, and I went there super excited, as you can imagine.
Mm,
And the producer kind of didn't understand what I wanted to do with the music, and produce me, in his best abilities, and it was great. But that realized I want to learn music production. I want to be able to know what to and express what I want. And it's also been a great quality for me in the studios, and I can tell the specifics exactly if I'm not satisfied with anything.
mm,
I'll put that up in 500 hertz, or it's not good compressor here in this bass line or whatever. So it's very good to know these kind of things. This nerdy, and I would never regret it because I sit and produce stuff when I'm not touring right now during the
sure.
pandemic.
Yeah, and nobody can take any type of education away from you, and it's got to be super handy to hear the sound that you want in your head and then be able to know how to capture it in the studio. I mean, that's got to be amazing.
I mean, yeah, it's good to. I need to remind myself now because it's been a while, and I produced a few albums old school way. I've been standing and speaking behind the technician what I want,
Yeah.
but I know that I have more, weight in my words when they know that I know exactly how to do it as well. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Right.
not just made up. I'm not a made up producer, so I can
Yeah.
take over and do it as well. But now I'm doing more of the everything myself. In the
Yeah.
pandemic, I'm sitting and making production and some writing songs and stuff like that. But there, yeah, and I went to guitar school, and that. I mean, without that, I played guitar where I was from a little farm, and I became good in a young age because I had nothing to do. But
Yeah.
the school, of course, made me more, you know, professional in shredding and stuff like that. I never care about shredding and stuff like that, like Ingrid Malmsteen stuff. But I had to do that in school, and I had to play some Toto and whatever I didn't like. So
Sure.
uh, I guess it developed me somehow, but it made me even more determined that I just go my own way as well.
Yeah. Has music always been the thing for you? Was there ever anything else, to be, I don't know, a doctor, a lawyer, anything other, or was you always singularly focused on music?
I'm just focused on music. There's nothing else for me, but I'm very, I have many ideas, and I think they're great. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that and that. I want to make jewelry. I want to make clothes. I want to do that. And I think I have all these crazy ideas, and I get tired after 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month. But music is constant for me. It's the only thing that is I do all the time.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to stick with what you know, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Now the rock and roll thing you got into when you were in school and you saw a band doing Rage Against the Machine. Got you. You mentioned Ingve Van Halen, but then it was when you got a copy of Powerage by AC/DC that sort of that's when the bulb really went off.
Yeah, I was pretty old by then. I was like 23 or something,
Mm,
24. Um, I heard AC/DC many times, but it was like I played a lot of other things before that. When I realized that the easy stuff is the best stuff, and that's after I went to all my schools and education, I was pretty fed up with playing guitar because everyone was so com- competitive,
hmm. Yeah.
and I was the only girl playing guitar in the whole school. I went to this artist school. when
Mm,
when, when guys passed me, they was like, play faster, just to annoy me, and I was like,
right.
"Fuck off," and then because maybe I'm not a huge fan of what they did, or the fast scales, or whatever. I realized a few years later that I want to do classic rock, and that's what my passion comes from, and that's what
Mm,
I listen to as well. So it makes a
yeah.
lot of sense to me to go back to the roots and don't care about anybody.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of rock and roll and metal. You can have the guys that want to shred and play like Ingve, or you can have the people who want to play like Angus, and it works for, whoever wants to listen to them. And there's a broad enough audience for it that, everybody can be happy. And once you find your happiness, then you lock in on it.
Definitely. Give me a second. I'm just gonna get something here. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, we're in quarantine right now in
Ah,
Berlin.
okay.
We just arrived to Germany, the band, and
Oh, okay.
so we have a show here in Berlin on the stadium on Tuesday.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. Is this the live from Olympic Stadium show?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Our
cool.
first stadium show in front of 20 people.
Right, but it's going to be streamed, correct?
Yeah, worldwide.
Yeah, that's going to be
So
excellent.
we're rehearsing in quarantine right now.
Okay.
We had like a 4-hour rehearsal before you called me and a
Wow.
few beers.
All right.
That's why my voice is so very low right now. I've been singing and screaming for 3 hours.
Speaking of that, I read that when you came up with the name of the band Thundermother, that was a 3 beer name.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was 2 beer. What was
Two.
3 beer? It doesn't matter. But exactly, just
Yeah.
having fun and chilling. And I was like, what should we be called? I was thinking, sideburn, because it's funny. But
Yeah.
I checked on Google, they just exist already. And then I was like, thunder is great because you can hear immediately what I want to achieve.
Right.
Classic rock.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, mother, done.
Yeah.
3 beers,
Named. Band named. Now,
named.
in 2017, you came back with a total new lineup. You say this is your best lineup yet. And the key with this lineup is all 4 of you write. You sort of loosen the reins a little bit.
The key isn't that we write. The key is that we can communicate,
Okay.
and everyone have the same goal. That's the key. Because I'm not afraid of writing stuff and stuff like that. But I mean, the success would probably be because we've been writing a little bit together and with others, and I've been opening up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be just a good member, whatever,
Yeah.
and then kind of a leader that I was before,
Mm-hmm.
and make everyone feel valuable and as equal. We're all equal now, and it's a democracy, 100%. So it makes a big difference, and we stick together for the longest time now, and they've been in the band longer than anyone before. So we're going on what is it, 5 years now, or four
Yeah.
years or something now.
And I read you also mentioned that the girls had the same hunger that you did. The hunger to be out there and
I mean,
write good material and achieve and play and everything.
their hunger is undescribable.
Yeah.
They are as me. They think long term. We can be stuck here in an apartment, quarantine. We all want the same thing. It doesn't matter.
Mm,
We do anything for the band. We do anything to achieve a lifestyle that we want, and play music wherever we want and stuff. So you need to give up your life basically to
yeah.
do what we do,
Yeah.
and they really have done that. And that's inspiring for me, because for me it's obvious, which
Right.
it was my idea, and I have the vision that they got the same vision, and they follow that. And it's cool that they had that kind of team. I
Yes.
feel that
Yes.
we're like and we're not Rolling Stones, but it feels like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure. I mean,
We're
hey,
a
you know,
group that sticks together.
you've got to have that sort of camaraderie in the team and that sort of swagger, um, to do it.
It's a
So
fun
yeah.
dynamic. It's not always easy, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got the show coming up from the stadium in Berlin. Is there anything else lined up? How are things over there? The world is such a crazy place right now. Moving
It's
forward with like any type of live shows or
illegal.
anything.
It's illegal to be outside in Berlin after 10 o'clock.
Really?
So
Oh.
the police will get you. But we found this app yesterday that you can order beer to the apartment,
Okay.
deliver it.
So you're set.
We're set. We had a great party yesterday because we ordered 4 rounds. People came and left stuff at our door.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
because in Sweden that's illegal to drink beer and in streets and or whatever order beer. We only have one place that sells beer in Sweden.
Okay.
So in Germany it's so loose, we're like,
Yeah.
well, they don't know how good life they can have here.
Yeah. Where
How
where
is it
can
in America, or
what's that?
how is it where you live?
We're loosening. Everything is loosening up over here, and it's very strange. I live about a couple hours away from Montreal, Canada, and up in Montreal right now, same deal. You can't be out after 10 o'clock. And over in the province
Mm.
of Ontario, where Toronto is, same deal. Police can stop you and question you if you're outside of your house.
Really?
Where I am in the States right now, the state I'm in is a small state called Vermont. We're still pretty strict, but they're loosening up, and there's other states that are wide open. There's no real consistency to it,
Mm.
but it is definitely not as locked down and quarantined as over there.
But in
Definitely not.
Sweden, I mean, we just arrived in Berlin. It's completely the opposite.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, no one cares in Sweden.
You guys have been wide open from the start, correct?
Yeah, we never had like this mouth
Yeah,
cover
right,
obligations, whatever. Only like it's like recommended.
right.
And but the pubs close at 8,
Mm,
and restaurants, and it's all the distance is
right.
like that. But I'm a little bit bad. We're a little bit bad in Sweden.
Well, hey, I don't know if there's really a right or a wrong way. You've had places that have been locked down where people are getting sick, and you've had places that have been wide open and people aren't getting sick. It's a very mysterious thing, I think.
Yeah, me too. And I think like if you're living in Sweden or really afraid, you can just stay in, I guess, or something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Talking with Filippa, guitarist and founding member of Swedish band Thundermother. Their Heatwave Deluxe Edition comes out May 21st on AFM Records. It's awesome. I like to finish with just some fun, silly questions. I'm hoping these are questions maybe you haven't ever been asked before. Sound good?
Sound great.
What clothing style that is currently out of fashion would you like to see come back into fashion?
I don't care about fashion.
Okay. All right. Let's
Fashion is
go.
just something to make money.
Okay.
And just wear whatever you feel comfortable in. You can do it the whole life, your whole life.
Okay. Let's go with this one. We talked about how that bedroom was decorated on the cover of the Heatwave Deluxe Edition. Give me a memory of something from your teen bedroom, a poster and something, whatever that from your teen bedroom.
Well, my teen bedroom was a Rage Against the Machine flag,
Okay.
a flag of Rage Against the Machine, and I also had many clips from magazines from Taylor Hanson, if you remember them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hanson,
Yeah.
Mbop.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay. Yeah. All
The
right.
singer. I looked at him when I was trying to go to bed. He was right by my face, his
Oh,
face.
okay. um,
um,
last
Rage
music,
Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine.
No, but
Last
you can take it.
last music you listened to other than your own.
It was Heavy Feather, a Swedish band.
Okay. Very cool. If you could pick a television show to have a Thunder Mother song placed in, what TV show would you pick?
I would pick a Nordic thing called Skavlan, where all the big people from whole world is coming to Skavlan.
Okay.
Or Ellen DeGeneres. I changed my mind. Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres. Okay. If you could eliminate one thing from your life, what would you pick? You'd never have to deal with again.
Drama.
Drama?
Yeah.
If you could be born in another era, what would you pick? Or maybe grow up in another era?
I would grow up in the 70s.
70s? Yeah, good stuff. It's late at night and you're hungry. What do you grab other than a beer for a midnight snack?
Swedish knäckebröd.
Okay.
Hard bread.
All right. Last one, and this is what's that?
With caviar, with fish eggs on.
Okay. This is the one we have the most fun with. If they were to make a biopic of your life, what actress would you pick to play you? And it's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
I would pick Gary Halliwell to play me.
Okay. All right. From
if
yeah, exactly. The redhead one, right?
Yeah.
What was she? I can't remember the name. Ginger Spice, wasn't it? I think.
Oh yeah,
yeah. How do I know that? I do not know.
the shape.
The random stuff that pops into your head, you know?
We are very similar in our face, so
that's last one, just to sort of get us back to music. If a young person came up to you and said, Filippa, when I grow up, I want to play rock and roll guitar in a rock and roll band, what advice would you give them?
That live your own reality and don't listen to anybody. Create your own reality in your mind and live from there. And you can do anything.
Very cool. Very cool. Filippa, has there been anything I haven't asked you about or something you wanted to talk about that I didn't ask you about? Any questions? The floor is yours for the moment.
No, I just want more of these fast questions. They were amazing, the last ones.
Okay. You want more fast? I can give you a couple. You want a couple more fast ones?
Okay.
All right. Have you ever prank called someone?
No, I'm too nice.
All right. Do you remember your first pet's name? First pet you ever had?
Lutten.
And what sort of pet was that?
A turtle.
All right. Favorite candy bar?
Chocolate.
Food better as a leftover than fresh?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Okay. If you could speak any language instantly, what other language would you pick? One French. That you obviously don't speak now.
French.
French?
Yeah.
All right. Last one. If you walk into a room and you're going to have a song play behind you, this is sort of your intro music, your own personal Filippa's entering the room music. What song would you pick?
I would choose Doyle Bramall Jr.
Okay, very cool. Filippa, this has been fun.
Thank you so much. It was great. Thank you so much for a great interview. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Once again, the band is Thundermother. We've been chatting with Filippa. She is the guitarist, founding member. Heatwave Deluxe Edition comes out May 21st on AFM Records. I know one other thing I wanted to ask you in all seriousness. Is there a link that you guys are going to put anywhere up to this live stream of this concert you're doing in Berlin? How can people watch that?
Yeah, it will be broadcasted May 14. And they can find that link on Thundermother homepage, Facebook, and Instagram.
Awesome. We'll be looking for it. Once again, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I wish you all the luck and success in the future. And if you ever get over here to the States, I would love to sit down and have a beer with you ladies.
I would love you to come, Lance. So cheers, and don't forget to rock and roll.
Absolutely. Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.